On the surface, the plan seems ambitious. Cut overdose deaths in Baltimore City by half in just 15 years. Well, the mayor's office has a roadmap to make this goal a reality. The strategy centers on community engagement and includes getting naloxone in the hands of community groups. The mayor's strategy specifically looks at training older black men on how to use naloxone. Another piece is the accessibility in hospitals. The plan calls for hospitals to increase their stock of the medication for opioid use disorder. And join me now to provide a little bit more of this framework is Sara Whaley. She is the executive director of overdose response within the mayor's office. Good to see you.
Thank you so much for having me here.
We both said when we were having a conversation, having naloxone on hand is a powerful thing for people to help change and save someone's life.
Yeah, it really is. It is a overdose reversal medication that anyone can use to reverse an overdose and save someone's life.
Yeah, I'm looking at the numbers you're talking about, and it sounds pretty ambitious. Reducing overdose by 50% by 2040. That's huge if you can pull that off.
It is huge. That would take us down to numbers that we have not seen in Baltimore since the early 2010s.
Yeah, what's essential in it? What do you go to first to make sure you at least get close to that number?
Yeah, so where we are right now and looking at the data of what's working in Baltimore and what's not working, the city has 5 key priority areas. One is addressing the disparities. So not everyone is impacted in the same way here in Baltimore. And so we really want to look at the populations that are most impacted by fatal overdose and get services to those individuals. We also want to make those services easy to access. So taking those services to the places that people live, work, and play.
Yeah, you mentioned that you're going to make sure you get into metro centers and into buses as well.
Yeah.
I think that it's that eye contact that you can have with this medication that will remind some folks, I could probably help somebody.
Yeah, and it's easy for anyone. Again, any resident in Baltimore City can help reverse an overdose with naloxone. And so if you see it in the metro station, pick one up, put it in your purse, in your backpack. You never know when you might need it.
There is some folks there's a stigma attached. Some folks, they're weighing two things. You know, am I helping someone continue a habit or am I saving a life? And I get the back and forth, but for me, I feel like the decision's the easy one.
Yeah, the mayor always says that someone can't get into treatment or move into recovery if they're not around anymore.
Sure.
And so by reversing an overdose, you're giving someone a chance to get there.
Yeah, and that's a tough decision, I would imagine, for someone who does have an addiction problem to say, hey, I need help. And maybe that second chance is all they need, the push they needed to do it.
Yeah, and I think, your point around enabling, which is what some people say,
yeah.
Behavior change is hard, and if we think about the times that we try to change our behavior, whether it's a New Year's diet or cutting out coffee or sugar in the morning, that doesn't happen overnight. Sometimes it takes us a couple tries at the gym to create a routine,
Very
right?
true.
And that's the same for people with a substance use disorder.
Tell me about restitution funds, because I think it's interesting. It's about $2 million, and you were mentioning things it goes to: harm reduction, opioid misuse, transportation and housing, something you may not associate it, job hunting. I mean, it's a holistic kind of approach to make sure this money gets to where it needs to go.
Yeah, so we have, the city's opioid restitution fund has about $260 million in it.
Okay.
Yeah. We put out $2 million in competitive grants this year. And like you said, those competitive grants went to programs in the city that are increasing access to low barrier treatment, meaning that treatment is easy for people to get. And that treatment it's things like methadone or Suboxone that can really help facilitate someone's recovery. We also want harm reduction to be easily accessible. So that's like naloxone, but also things like drug checking, so people know what's in the substances that they're using.
Sure. And then I think people forget about what comes after you get the treatment, because life will go on. And people need to have a paycheck. People need to have a place to live. And it's like you're not just putting them back out on the street.
Yeah. To facilitate that recovery, we think about things that are protective factors, and those things are jobs, it's family, it's a place to live, it's a warm meal.
Yeah.
All of those things can either contribute to a substance use disorder or help facilitate recovery.
Sure. And substance misuse has many faces. So, I mean, yes, I think you are making sure you go into disproportionately impacted places, but I think there's a spot for everyone within this whole structure.
Yeah, I think that's something that we've learned with the overdose crisis over the years, is that no one is immune.
Yeah.
It doesn't have a face. It doesn't have a specific type of person that it targets.
Yeah.
It can be anyone. And so really thinking about your neighbors, it could be an older person that was prescribed a medication and they forgot that they took it that day, and over time, that might make them more at risk. It could be a student who thinks they're taking a specific medication to maybe help with studying, and
Yeah.
it's not what they expected.
Wow.
And so having naloxone in the home and on you can really help save a whole bunch of folks.
Yeah, about 30 seconds left. If people are looking for help or want to find out where they can find naloxone, is there a website or a number that they can reach out to?
Yeah, so our website, baltimorecity.gov/bcmore.
Okay.
We have a resource there where you can go to a map and look at all the overdose response programs in Baltimore City, and you can go and get free naloxone there.
Great. Sarah, thank
Yeah,
you.
thank
We
you so
appreciate
much.
it. Certainly.